if you're posting consistently on Instagram, but you still have trouble getting at least 10,000 views, maybe your account stats look something like this, and you might just be wondering, well, I'm not getting any followers, views, and especially no leads or sales from Instagram. What am I doing wrong? Well, today I'm going to show you basically a foolproof system straight from my creator mentorship that basically you can copy and paste to finally get your views up. My clients actually have been using this to get results like these. Let me just show you over here. Basically from these were actual befores to actual afters. You know, we actually do have some clients that got crazy results where sometimes I just don't even want to show them here because they honestly, they feel unreal. Right. So basically there's only 2 reasons why you're stuck with less than 10,000 views on average per reel. First thing being the algorithm actually has no data about you, your audience, what you do. Could be because you have a new account. Could be because you're inactive and not really creating or don't meet the minimum thresholds of what the Instagram algorithm actually wants, or you've had an audience pivot. And the other thing being your content just flat out sucks. Let's begin with what most creators are actually struggling with is that the algorithm just has no good data on your account, which basically means that you don't get any views or sales or leads to begin with. And for that, we have what I call the comment strategy, which basically is you want to sort of leave value comments under emerging posts that are doing well right now. And this whole thing actually works so well is because people nowadays, usually, if you've noticed it, they watch a reel and while they watch it, they scroll through the comments and read what other people have to say. And, you know, like I said, almost nobody uses this strategy effectively. So basically you leaving a comment there that stops them from scrolling, that actually adds value and that makes you sort of look like a professional or a trusted source or somebody with an opinion is going to get them to click on your profile, check out your content. Super, super powerful. And basically what you do here with this is hijacking attention. That's all we do anyway. And this just basically helps us a lot more. So instead of saying, you know, leaving a comment saying, let's say on a fitness creator, so just saying great workout, cool. Lots of gurus might say, well, that's the way to go. You actually want to, like I said, flip the script, leave a value comment, and basically view this whole thing as a guest post, sort of with a twist. So instead of saying great workout, you can say, fire workout, Alex. I always tell my clients the trick is keeping rest periods under 45 seconds. Makes every set twice as effective. So you basically give value to the people, you give your opinion, and then between the lines, people are aware, well, you're also a professional, right? You're also somebody that knows what's up and that helps people. So when you consistently do this, especially under breakout videos that are right now performing, you're basically renting their audience of these creators for free, which is, you know, like I said, well, I would even consider this whole thing as being a guest post. Super, super important. And if you want to maximize this whole thing to get, you know, remember, to get into the next algorithm tier as soon as possible, you want to do this for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, the second part of this whole thing is basically optimizing your content and making sure your content is there to getting more views. Because obviously the Instagram algorithm just cares about one thing, you creating great, awesome content that's better than the rest. The rest being people in your target audience. There's basically 2 things we want to do. And the first thing is actually systematically engineering breakout videos. Right? If you remember, a breakout video is basically, let's say this is your view, these types of things. Whenever there's a video that just breaks out, obviously. So how to do that? There's actually a very simple formula that we use as part of the 60-day framework to consistently get our clients to, you know, basically have breakout videos, get more views, and get pushed in the next algorithm category. So the way the algorithm works is it always plays with what it already knows about certain videos, data, and if it has data about a certain topic or a certain video, it obviously prefers that. So what you want is you basically want to go ahead, do some research like I'm going to show you, and basically borrow the structure of winning reels or carousels in your target audience. Basically the structure of reels that work right now within the past 30, 60 days. And you want to basically recreate this whole thing with your own spin, right? Now there's some caveats to that because I see creators all the time. They just create a carbon copy that's exactly the same. You don't want to do that, right? For obvious reasons. The other thing you don't want to do is recreate from big industry leader accounts from your niche. I see creators always do that. They say, well, I just recreated this from this 2 million follower account. obviously it's not going to work for you because for especially big season creators, there's different rules. The rules don't apply to them anymore because they already have an audience. The algorithm kind of knows them in a different way and has lots of different data points. So whatever works for them is most likely not going to work for you. So what you want to do is you want to do some research and find smaller yet emerging creators where you can see, or not even creators, but videos and reels itself, and kind of try to find patterns of why these videos get shown right now, why these videos break out right now. A lot of the times the patterns are going to be in the hooks, in the first frame, how it looks, in the length, and also obviously in the topic / subtopic of whatever's going on in your niche. And basically that's what you want to do is look for these things and recreate these whole things with your own spin, but try to keep the hook structure as close to the original as possible, right? I'll show you how to do that in a second. But that's important because the algorithm really, it's basically tried and tested, and we want to get you views as soon as possible. For example, you just go ahead, put in home buyer tips. It's just a random example here into the search bar of Instagram. You can say for you, or you can say reels. There you go, reels. And then first of all, you're going to get a bunch of videos that are breaking out right now or that are working well. And I can already see a bunch of patterns here, but let's say here I make $40 an hour. Can I afford an 800K view? 2 new home buying hacks no one is talking about in 2025. How to buy a second home if you can't afford it. So already a bunch of interesting topics and hook structures that we can start to recreate. And then it's as easy as that. Taking a bunch of these videos, take the hook, put your own spin on it, and post at least 2 to 3 of those per week for at least the next 60 days. Just doing this, in addition to the comments and all these things, is going to systematically up your reach. And you're going to be shocked at what's possible, honestly. Now, try to get inspired and kind of recreate videos that are posted from within the past 30 to 60 days, just because the Instagram algorithm has a big recency bias. Now, let's get a little deeper in the sense of once you post, like I said, for at least 60 days like this, you're going to get a lot of data, right? You're going to get some breakout videos probably already, but you're going to get a lot of data that you can then use to really, really blow up and crush this whole game, because you're going to get a lot of data to kind of understand where are you good, what works, what doesn't work. And basically we're going to use the analytics that we have to our advantage. So if your content still sucks, / if you just create content, doesn't matter if it sucks or not, you always want to be looking at your analytics and understanding basically the weak points of your content as well as the strong points, right? Totally forgot about that. And there's multiple analytics to your disposal. The most important one, like we said, the hooks are the most important part of your content by far, is the view rate past the first 3-second metric. Everybody should have that by now. Religiously study that for your content. Take a look into, first of all, the all, but then also the followers and the non-followers separately to see how do people react, and do people swipe away, or how many people stay past the first 3 seconds of your videos. And try to understand, try to find patterns from within your own content. When is it higher? When is it lower? What kind of words do you use? How does the first frame look? How long is the video? Do you have text on screen or not? And stuff like this. You can also use, obviously, the whole retention graph. Some people now have it back on their Instagram. Some people have that inside the Edits app. But basically also try to figure out the retention graphs. Like, for example, here we can see there's a bunch of, in this video, I would analyze what happened here during this drop off, what happened here, and what's going here on here at the end where there's a massive drop off. And then basically create another version dealing with these things, whatever that is. Same thing with these analytics that you're going to find within the Edits app, which is very, very good, is just kind of get a rough overview of how your content works. Your skip rate, meaning how many people skip your content. It's very closely related to the first 3 seconds. Do you notice any patterns there? Do you notice any patterns with content that gets shared a lot more than the rest? Maybe it's topics again. Maybe you have a call to action. Maybe it's a certain angle or packaging or whatever it is. Same thing with save, comment, like, and average watch time, obviously, because that's the king of kings. The longer you can basically get people to watch your content, the better. And if you can create content that's maximum a minute, 2 minute, 3 minutes long, and that keeps people actually watching, you're going to blow up. You're going to be the biggest, best creator ever. Doesn't mean that you need to create long content though, right? There's room for everyone here. And ideally you start with sort of shorter content and then kind of handle your way up to creating longer content, right? How to do that? Start with short content, analyze these things religiously, right? Try to understand what worked, what didn't work, and then slowly aim for longer and longer content until you're there, until you're the master creator. And if you just follow this exact system for at least the next 60 days, you're gonna get a breakout video. I can guarantee you that your views are gonna go up quite a bit. As a result of that, most likely your sales, your leads, whatever it is. And if you're like most creators where basically the #1 issue lies, especially in this metric, aka your hooks, you might want to watch this video next where I show you how to analyze and fix different hooks to get your views really up more than you've even imagined here, right? This is just the beginning.